I think you have an apology to make.
I don't got shit.
You better make an apology because you know how many people have been fucking blowing me up about this fucking podcast because of you?
Yeah, me too. Me too. Blow
Well, you
me
want to
up
know why
too.
they're
Me
blowing you
too.
up? Because you want to know what everybody that DMs me that has
Oh, you
complained
tell them it's
about.
my fault?
No, I said go on Nick's page and tell him you want the podcast to fucking an episode. I go, I've asked him 50 fucking times. I go, he's doing 8 million things and going to fucking Sam's Club in Texas every other weekend. Have you not? We're on Revive. You have been in Texas like 3 times in the past couple months.
That's true. I have. You're right.
How's it going over there?
What, in Texas or here?
Like we're on Revive.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, due to unfortunate circumstances, everything's fine. There's
Yeah.
no awkwardness or anything. So,
Cool. Well, I mean, Chris, we haven't done a podcast since pre-Olympia. So we're not going to get into the fucking malarkey and all the nonsense. Everybody that knows, and anybody that knows you, knows me, or knows the sport, obviously knows the backstory as to what happened with you and Matt. So there's no need to dive into that shit. But
me,
let's talk about the Olympia. Um,
for sure.
so you being out of the Olympia obviously changed a lot of the dice with how this thing kind of played out.
Yeah.
You had Derek in third, you had Hottie in second, and you had Samson in first.
Hmm.
Um, I think a lot of people could have argued a couple different ways on this one. And I think you did make a post that said, I have Samson winning, and this is just my
I
opinion.
did. Yeah.
So give me the breakdown as to your 1, 2, and 3 and why. And
I think Samson won just because I think he came back better than he always is. I think was a touch leaner than he normally is. Waist was a lot tighter than it normally is, and obviously, I think he has good posing. And I personally, I just think Hadi and Derek were just off compared to last year, and Hadi did not look like the way he did at the Arnold for this Olympia. I think he came in off a little smaller, maybe. And Derek, I do think, I think Derek just missed the mark. I think his legs disappeared a little bit. I don't his I think his front was still softer
shallow.
than,
Yeah.
and it's not, yeah. His back shots are still a strong point. I mean, I didn't really see a flaw there too much.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if it was like a peaking thing with him or not, but he just missed the mark. So
If all three were at their best, who would you have had in first, second, third?
see, that's hard because even with Derek winning the year that he did, I still don't think that's Derek's best. And I
So we don't
think
know what his
Hadi's
best is.
best. Yeah, and I think Hadi's best was at the Arnold
Yeah.
when he beat Sampson. So if we're gonna base just off of that, so we'll just say Derek's Olympia last year and then Hadi at the Arnold as their best, then I
Yeah.
probably would have gone with Hadi.
And what about Samson in that mix?
If Derek
Because
looked like the way he did
would you
last
say
year,
Samson's best was this Olympia, correct?
I would, yeah. And
Yeah.
see, the thing is, and I don't want to take any credit away from him. Like he deservingly won,
No, he won. End of
but
story. There's nothing to take away from the guy, but we can still critique.
right. I think if Derek and Hadi showed up the way they should have showed up, I think it probably would have been the same thing as last year, except I think Hadi could have taken it.
So Hottie won, Derek 2, Samson 3.
Yeah, the thing with Hadi that none of the other two have that Hadi has is Hadi just has that fucking granite hard
Yeah.
conditioning that you like nobody can really like contend with. But if Hadi does come slightly off, it does show pretty drastically a little bit, and that's where the other two can take over.
Yeah, and like if you notice, like more, and this, I mean, it has to do with skin tone. So more of the black guys seem to have like nice flowing lines. You very rarely see a black bodybuilder that has those cross striations and that not like that graininess like Kai Green did. But even Kai having it,
Yeah,
he had it in his legs, but he didn't really have it in his upper body either. He didn't have that gnarly graininess up top. It was more in his legs. But if you
in his
look at the
legs. Yeah.
bodybuilders, like Sean had it probably more so than anybody because it was all throughout his body. But for most,
Sean was pretty granite.
yeah. But my point is, we're talking about two bodybuilders out of how many? I think, when you have that white skin tone, I think, the white bodybuilders, I think just the way the genetic makeup is can make them look that graininess because a lot of the black bodybuilders have those gorgeous shapes and round muscle bellies and they flow gorgeous.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you have a lot of the white guys have that gnarly graininess. And I think it might have something to do with genetics.
I think it is genetics, and I'll also say Sean is pretty granite too. Sean Clarita.
Florida. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got Ronnie too. Like there's guys we could argue, but in the
Ronnie,
grand scheme
yeah,
of things, like how many white guys can you rattle off that were grainy, gnarly? I mean, there's tons. So,
tons, yeah.
um, yeah, for me, like Samson is just so impressive that he's that big and has that shape and structure. I still want to see him tighter.
I
I
do too. Like, I don't. He didn't slam the door shut. Like, he didn't
no,
like. It wasn't like boom boom. I don't. That door is still has a bit of a crack open,
yeah,
and I think again, if they show up next year the way they should, I don't. It's good. Samson has to come in peeled. Like he literally
yeah,
has to be like bone dry.
yeah, yeah. For me, I need Samson to have more peak on his biceps. He's got very thick biceps, but they're pretty flat.
Yeah,
His back double, I just need more of that thickness on the upper
he's brought it
lats.
up. It
He
just needs
has.
more.
He
It just needs
absolutely
more.
has. He definitely has. And
His hamstrings are nuts,
his
though. I will say that.
yeah, his glute and ham area needs to come up probably more so than anything. Um,
Yeah,
but he's got so much mass on him and he's made so many drastic improvements in such a short period of time. I don't foresee that not happening. Um,
me neither.
but
And
Hadi
he's
at a
driven. He's driven. He wants to keep improving. So
and Hadi at 100 is very hard to beat. I think very hard for
no,
anybody to beat.
and yeah, what? He's a freak.
You know, were you shocked that Derek got third and Hadi got second, or
Um,
being that Derek was the
no,
champ last
no.
year? A
Well,
lot
yeah,
of
just
people
from
didn't.
that alone, right? It's like,
Well, a lot of
damn, he
people
got
didn't think they
third.
would do that because he was the champ. People thought that him being the champ, they would at least put him to second and not drop him to third.
Well, then didn't they do that to Rami? Didn't he win? And then the following
Yeah,
year he got fourth or something?
yeah, I think so.
Third or fourth?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show, like they don't give a shit who you are, man.
yeah,
If you don't look the way you should, they're judging that.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I didn't think he would get third, in my opinion. But seeing the lineup, seeing how they all compared, I mean, it's understandable.
I didn't mind the placing, um, beings that Derek was off and Hadi was off, and I think Hadi, if we never saw Hadi better than he was at the Olympia, then nobody would be arguing that he wasn't on. But the fact that he,
No,
because he had great conditioning at the Olympia, problem is that he's been just better than that. And when you get that good, when you come in a little off, it could hurt you. So I'm not saying you
no.
shouldn't be your best, but when you are your absolute best, and literally he couldn't have been any better at the Arnold. So if you don't hit that every time, you're going to look at from the judge's eyes to be a little off.
I agree.
I mean, and that's not a discredit to Hadi. That's a positive thing because he has
No,
the ability to
Hadi,
come in that field.
Hadi,
Um,
in my opinion, will be one of the best bodybuilders in the world.
yes, absolutely. What do you think played a role in Derek's legs being undersized? Because that was a very big topic spoken about throughout the Olympia weekend.
I don't know exactly. It could have been just the peak went wrong. I don't know for sure. I don't know. Obviously what Hani does with Derek. But I'm gonna assume it had to do something with peak for sure because he posted pictures that were like 4 or 5 days prior to the Olympia, and his legs were
Crazy.
full big as a shit brick house. and then you show up on stage and there's not much going on. So I'm
Yeah.
going to assume that's obviously a peak issue.
So so you don't think he might have stopped training or did something different in his training prior to? You just
No. I think Derek's like me in the sense where like we keep everything the same, and if it's
yeah,
working, it's working. Um, so I think them leading into Vegas, it just something obviously just didn't go as planned.
yeah.
And I'm just gonna assume the peak just didn't work out this year.
Yeah, you know what? And him even not peaking, I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He was fucking peeled. That being
Oh
said,
yeah, he still looked great. It just
he
it
was a
wasn't
little
Derek's
flat.
best.
Yeah, you know, and you could tell. I think Derek was severely disappointed. He was
I feel
definitely
like he knew, I
yeah.
definitely feel like he kind of knew,
Well,
but
if you watch his posing routine at night, he went into like a like a side back bicep shot, and then he did a lot of like 3/4 shots, and then went to the back and hit a lot of back shots, and he didn't turn to the front because he knew that his front didn't look as good as his back, so he was going
of
back,
course.
back, back, back. Um, were there any big surprises to you at the O? Anybody that was like, holy fuck, where did this guy fucking come from?
Um, no,
Yeah, I
no.
don't.
I thought everyone showed up the way they should have. I thought everyone looked great. Um, even like with 212, I think, even with Sean, I think he was sucked down a little too
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Um, and it's not to say he could have beat Keon, but he didn't. Sean wasn't the best Sean, right?
yeah.
So I don't I don't know how that matchup would have truly played out if Sean showed up the way we all know how Sean could have showed
Yeah,
up.
I see. I people were wowed by Martin, and I wasn't. And I texted Martin. I go, proud of you, but not surprised. Meaning, I wasn't surprised that he showed up, looking the way he did, because I see how the guy trains. I know how much he loves bodybuilding, and it didn't surprise
Yeah,
me that he looked the way he did. So I wasn't shocked that Martin was as high placed as he was because it didn't shock me. I was like, well, I kind of fucking assumed. So I was really proud of that kid because he puts a lot into bodybuilding, and he's a guy that just loves to fucking work out, which is always awesome to see.
for
Um,
sure.
what else? Who else in the open? I'm trying to think of. Hunter did well. I think he looked much better in prejudging than he did at the night show.
Yeah, I think they messed up a little bit going into
Yeah,
finals.
yeah,
He definitely looked good at prejudging. I do think that was probably his best for sure.
yeah. He's somebody, he's like still there with me with like Samson. Like, I still haven't seen him hard enough where it makes
You
me
you know
happy.
you know who impresses me a little bit, and I just think it's because he coaches himself. John Jewett,
Yes. He always comes in peeled.
healed, bro, healed, and I
John's
think it's
problem is just structurally. He just,
well, that's something you can't fix. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
that's what
Like,
sucks.
so I like that he just kind of still does his best. He shows up the way he can, and I think it's awesome. He does his own coaching. Like I got to be honest.
Yeah, John's a good dude, smart dude, honest guy. Spent a decent amount of time around John. We competed in 212 for a while together. He's a good dude.
And I'm happy that he's finally going to the open because I think it's made his physique look a lot better, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
dude, he was way too stringy in the 212. He's too tall. He's got too much mass. He was like another Derek. Like, he needed to let his body do its thing and fucking grow.
For
Um,
sure.
Now, obviously different coaches, but you got a guy like Derek, right? And then you have a guy like Sean. Now, different coaches, but I feel like they both did similar things. Do you think it is a disadvantage to stay as lean as they did in the off season? Because Derek stays pretty fucking lean, and if you looked at Sean, he stayed pretty fucking lean, and
I
both of
think
those guys came in severely flat. So, do you think maybe that might have something to do with it? Because your ground zero is not the same when you're super fucking lean.
I do think it depends, right, on the circumstance because I know some people that can eat abundance of food and stay lean. So if that's the case, I don't see it as a problem because your food's
Yeah.
so high, you got somewhere to go, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
know where Derek's food was, where he had to go. I really don't
Yeah.
even know where Sean's food was, where he had to go. And I think staying lean has its advantages going into a prep, but depending how lean you are, there can be a disadvantage, and that could
Yeah.
lead to a shit prep for sure. I'm learning for me, my best is definitely not obviously not getting fat, but not staying as lean as I normally would. And packing on a little extra body, not to the point where I look fucking like a fat slob,
Yeah.
but staying lean, but putting on a little extra fat, letting the body
Being
feel that.
thick but tight.
Yeah. And that way, when prep comes around, it's almost like you're kind of fresh a little bit. You got some shit on you, it's gonna come off, you're gonna tighten up. If you stay lean at a certain spot, it's what pebble are you really carving at that point?
Do you ever have like a set goal weight, like where you cap it, where you're like, I am not going above this weight?
No, I also go by feel too. Just look, if I feel like shit, give a shit, how lean I still am, a high body weight,
Your
I
internet
don't want to go any
sucks.
higher. I'll turn it off.
Your internet's fucking. You just turned into a robot.
I about it.
Yeah, you are now. You might have to jump off and jump back on.
No, hold on.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Are we good now?
I can hear you. Yeah, it's a little slow. Oh, there we go. Now you're back. Guess who's back?
All right. What was I saying?
You're talking about
What was I
staying
saying?
lean off season.
Oh, yeah. So like I think it has its advantages and disadvantages. I know for me, like I said, putting on a little bit of chunk works better for me than trying to stay as lean as I normally would. Um, but like you said, if I don't want to reach, like let's just say I'm 300 pounds and I'm still in relatively good condition. If I feel like shit, I'm not, you know what I mean? Because I haven't reached that weight. I'm not going to keep pushing. Like I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, dude. Like I want to hold it here. But if
Yeah.
I'm at 300 pounds and I have really good condition and I feel great, I'm not going to be like, let's ram. You know what I mean? But I'm like,
Yeah.
we can increase a little bit. Let's see where it goes. So I like to play both factors into that. Because I know sometimes with certain people, the heavier you get, the more joint pain. You can't train as hard. You can't train as heavy. Shit fails. So I set the limit. But like right now, I'm 296, and I feel great to be honest. I mean, training's good. I can feel like I'm getting out of breath a little bit. Nothing crazy.
So wait, how heavy are you? Two.
296
What was your
morning.
heaviest?
My heaviest I ever was in the morning was I think 302.
When would you start prep?
When?
Yeah.
Right after Christmas, January.
And did you announce all that?
No.
It's a good thing I'm like fucking fake manager because we'd have to be editing shit if I didn't fucking cut in
No,
there.
I mean I don't really care at this point.
So do you want to announce what you're doing?
Oh yeah, I'm obviously I plan on doing Pittsburgh. So
The Berg, and then are we doing New York Pro if we win?
that's up in the air. I'm not gonna say no to it. I'm not gonna say yes to it and get everyone's hopes and dreams held high here.
That Pittsburgh
But
show is supposed to be like a badass show slash expo this year.
oh yeah, they're doing it big. And the reason why I did not do the Arnold, because everyone keeps calling me a pussy. Um, I didn't feel I was gonna be ready for it, to be honest. And I don't think, obviously, I honestly didn't even think me, Kyle, or any of us knew my size was gonna come back as fast as it did.
Yeah, crazy.
And then some, because I feel like I'm bigger than what I have been. Um, and I honestly, like I am known to bring like that wow factor, like
Yeah,
what fuck type of look. And I honestly just felt the Arnold would have been too soon. And even if I felt like I was going to bring a really good look, I just wasn't. I don't think it just would have been the look I wanted. I felt like it would have been a look where people would have been like, okay, like Nick's back. That's cool. That's cool. I want people to be like, oh fuck,
yeah.
like that man. okay, you know. So I just feel
There's
like
a
an extra 2 months can really benefit someone. So I
there
decided just to be smart about it and be patient.
there's a difference between gaining 30 pounds and then dieting a couple weeks later and gaining 30 pounds and holding it for 3 or 4 months and then dieting down. Like
Exactly.
you need to hold the weight so your
Exactly.
body can
So it
acclimate to
sticks.
that. If not, you'll diet that right the fuck off. So
Exactly.
no, I think if you would have done the Arnold, that would have been a horrible idea.
I agree. You know,
Which I believe I told you.
we did, yeah, yeah. Even my mom was like, too soon.
Yeah, not a good idea. Not when you're fucking, gotta catch up a little bit on size, it's you
No, and
can't
it's
do
like,
that.
listen, I know, especially this year for me, right? Like I know what's kind of at stake a little bit. Like I can't really fuck up. I already missed the past 2 years. This one, being a big woo woo. So like I can't afford to mess up at all right now. And
And
I
and
just
I and I want to touch on this because a lot of the comments that I see on your page, you know, everybody talks about how like, oh, you pulled out again. So, and I've commented on it so many
it
times.
was only once.
So, guys, it's not pulling out of the show when you fucking tear your fucking hamstring in half. Like that's not
Yeah.
pulling out of a show. Like he physically was unable to do that show. That's not pulling out. The only show he pulled out of was 2024 Mr. Olympia. One show is in entire career. So
Yeah.
say what you want about it, but it is not a consistent fucking thing. And if he tore his hamstring this year and it wasn't because of whatever happened, I still wouldn't consider that pulling out of a show again because
No, no.
that's an injury or something like that is a pull out excuse in my eyes or in the eyes of 99% of people. So I think people need to get a grip a little bit when they fucking use verbiage like that because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Um,
Exactly. So but like the ego in me, of course, was like, fuck, I want to do the Arnold. Fuck this
of
shit.
course.
You know? But then I'm like, you know what? Like, I have to be smart. This has to be planned. This has to be structured. And we decided on Pittsburgh. So
So Um, how did this whole thing with you and Kyle? I know you obviously know Kyle because I know he's from Jersey and you guys linked up and trained before, but how did all this come to fruition?
so obviously, like I felt like Kyle. So me and Kyle obviously been pretty solid friends since 2018, 19.
I'm listening. I'm just taking a run to take a piss. I gotta pee.
Okay. So you want me to talk or no?
Yeah, talk. I can hear it through the mic.
Oh, okay. Um, and we pretty much trained together at one point almost every single day. And to a degree, like he helped me a lot with training. He also kind of knew what my diet was, things like that. He knew how my body responded to certain things. He even came to the show, my first national show that I had with Matt by the USA's in 2019. Matt couldn't make that one, so Kyle decided to tag along. So he kind of got to see how my body peaks, what we did, for the peak, things like that. And I just figured over the past few years, I'm sure his coaching knowledge has expanded and grew. Um, and I just kind of said, I was the one that kind of reached out to him and just said, "What's up, bro? Like, let's have a little chat, and let's see where this can go." And we talked about it for, I'd say, a good couple days, and then he ended up coming down to Florida for I think 4 days. We trained together, and he liked what he saw. He liked what we were doing. I also have Jared Feathers in charge of the training aspect of everything too. So like Kyle does my diet,
Does he do your
protocols.
training or is that still Jared?
Jared's don't doing the training right now. Like Kyle will oversee it and look at it and make sure. Obviously, he likes how things are going. And Jared just communicates everything with Kyle. Kyle communicates everything with Jared as far as what I'm doing protocol wise, what I'm doing diet wise, and that way Jared can kind of structure the training, you know, around all that. And honestly, it's been working too.
So would you think that So did Kyle never did a diet? He just trained with you. So do you think he knew your body from the food already? Like, does he have a jump start on that, or do you think,
Yeah,
or is this the first
he
time he's
was
like
already
doing?
like pretty familiar on what my body can handle consumption wise of certain foods. And obviously he knows a big, deal here is keeping my gut in check. Um, so he's been able to really structure things in a way where like my body weight is going up a little by little, but my waist is not really budging a whole lot here.
How's your strength in the gym?
I'm pretty fucking strong, yeah.
How you like using RP again?
Now that I'm really, really, I've used it in the past, but now that I'm really, 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 really focusing on it, I actually like it. I do like it, and I
What
think
kind of
that
focus are you doing? Is it more like a leg focus, upper body focus?
it's so when Kyle and Jared both communicated when we got started, we're focusing on chest and quads for the most part during this phase.
Now, are you training with Kyle daily?
Well, no, because he lives in Jersey, but whenever he comes down here, we
Oh,
train.
okay. I thought maybe he might be like shooting down there and like staying down there since like he's training with you now.
No, 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 no. He
He
comes
was
down.
down there for a stint at one point. I know that, right? He was living down there for about a
He
year or something.
was, yeah, yeah, yeah. He comes down here probably every. Well, I think he said he wants to come down every at least 6 weeks for now, and then I'm sure as we get closer to a show, I don't know if
Yeah.
he'll want me to kind of go up there for the last few weeks since it's in Pittsburgh, or come here and then fly there. You know what I mean?
What's his like dieting like? Is he like higher? Some of the coaches are like lower protein, really high carb, cheat meals, dirty combo, all clean mostly. Does he give you cheat days, cheat meals? Are they controlled? Does he actually do cardio all in off season? Like, what's his?
So diet, I'd say moderate protein, and I would definitely say it's higher on the carbs and fats for sure. I mean, my carb intake is probably around 750, I would say,
I was
for
gonna
me.
say it's got to be pushing 1,000.
At least 750, 800. Fats, I don't know the exact amount, but I know they're over 100. And protein, I would say is around 350, 400.
Okay.
Cardio, this was new to me. I haven't done any cardio since the Olympia.
Is that driving you nuts?
No, because I actually feel better, to be honest.
Really?
I think what happened was, I was stressing my body out too much, to be honest. And I think with how hard I was training and how hard I was still doing cardio, never like stopped. I think it just kind of backfired on me a little bit. So pretty much from the Olympia till now, I haven't. I mean, I walk on the treadmill for a little while to get like steps in,
Yeah.
but like I haven't done any like cardio at all.
Hmm. I guess they're just trying to hold your muscles as long as much as they can.
Well, we can, especially for the legs. And like I said, my condition is still really, really good. Like I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
What does he do for dirty food, Kyle?
I have one cheat a week.
Cheat week? I mean, cheat meal or cheat day?
Nah, cheat meal. Sunday night dinner.
It's usual cheesecake.
No. I've only gone there probably 3 or 4 times. I actually found this
Where's
steakhouse.
the spot? Where's the spot now? Where's the spot at?
I'll tell you, I found this steakhouse in Jupiter. It's called Lewis Steakhouse. It's very underrated. I don't think many people know about it, but it's probably my favorite steakhouse.
My buddy Chris with the triplets lives in Jupiter. I gotta tell him about it.
Tell them
You
the
gotta send
bread.
me. You gotta text it to me.
I'll tell you this: the bread is almost very comparable to the Cheesecake Factory bread. Not even gonna bullshit you.
It's called LEW or LUI.
Lews Steakhouse. You wouldn't like know because it's like in this little plaza, but it's always packed. And even on a Sunday night, it's packed.
Really?
But the
Huh.
food, I was shocked, man. The food, I was like, yo, this is
How'd you
fucking
find
good.
it?
I Googled it.
You just took a risk?
I did. I Googled
That's
restaurants.
That's a little risky for you. I don't see you take. You're not a risk taker when it comes to that stuff.
I'm not, but I looked at the menu, I looked at the pictures of the food, and I'm like, this one might be my vibe. I took a risk,
You
and I
did?
was
Did you look at the Google reviews at least, or like the reviews of the
I
fucking
did, of
place?
course. I fucking stalked the shit out of it.
All good.
I liked it, and they got good dessert, phenomenal dessert.
What do you get for dessert?
They got this really good chocolate cake with whipped cream. It's phenomenal.
Is it like an ice cream cake or is it like soft? I
Soft, very soft chocolate cake, very moist.
don't like cake like that, bro.
What? What kind of cake do you like? Dry? I don't. What do you mean?
No, like it's got to be like carrot cake or like ice cream cake, like that moist fucking just cake with like, oh, I
Oh,
mean,
I love
icing. And
carrot
it's
cake too, but they didn't have carrot cake there.
yeah, I just like those birthday cakes that are just like fucking angel food cake and like, I'm good
The
with all
two
that shit.
best carrot cakes I've ever had are from Barry's in Vegas and Cheesecake Factory. I don't give a fuck.
Cheesecake Factory's got bomb. And Barry's, I've never had it. I can't compare it to anything.
The Cheesecake Factory carrot cake is insanely good.
Bro, you got drones by you?
Dude, no, not here in
What the
Florida, but
fuck?
have you seen them?
No, but when I was in Texas for nationals, and
Yeah.
dude, all I was fucking hearing, being asked about were the fucking
I keep
drone.
I keep forgetting to ask my mom. I'm like, yo, have
What
you
the
seen these
fuck?
drones?
Dude. I mean, I've heard so many fucking different things as to what these things could be. And from like they were looking for the nuclear missile that was lost to
It
it could
makes me
be
nervous to go home.
Iran to it could be fucking dude, they're all over, I heard.
It
They're all over.
makes it makes me nervous to go home.
Well, I flew and I was like looking out the window, fucking
Yeah,
like,
like what the fuck was it? And I'll watch some like clips on IG and stuff because people post everything. Nobody knows what these
dude.
drones
So
are.
apparently somebody said something today. I don't know if it was Trump or somebody said that they said that they were governments looking for what I don't even fucking know. I didn't really see what he said, but apparently somebody made something to like a comment today about what they were and what they were doing, and that it was military, this and that. But that when something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And that doesn't make sense. If that was
That
the
makes
case,
that makes no sense.
they would have said that 4 fucking weeks ago.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Like these drones have been around for 4 weeks. Like if they could have came out 4 weeks ago and put an end to everybody fucking a second away from going to mass hysteria for Christ's sakes.
Could you imagine just like getting up, going outside, getting the mail, and you're like, you just see this random ass drone? I'd be like, what the fuck?
I got a buddy who's way up the ladder in the
Yeah.
military. And I was asking him questions, we were going back and forth, and he was like, don't even attempt to shoot at those things. He goes, because he listed all these different things that it could be. And then he was one of the guys where he was like, and this was 3 nights ago. He was like, if I were you, he goes, I would stock up on MREs. He goes, I would get Starlink, I would get a generator. He said, and I would get about a year's worth of MREs per person. He goes, and stock up on guns and ammo. He goes, because we are very close for something happening that's going to be very bad. He goes, and I promise you, he goes, I'm not saying it's going to happen. He goes, but if things keep going the way they are, he goes, this place is going to turn upside down. And I've known this kid since he was 14.
Bro,
He's never said that to me before in his life, ever.
bro, you make me not want to come home, bro.
It's not that, bro. It's not going to matter if it's in Jersey. It's going to be anywhere. It's not going to matter where you are. That's the point I'm
Oh,
trying to make. That's not just a Jersey thing. That's going to be all over, dude. They're seeing these fucking drones all over the place now. In Florida, I heard they saw them. I heard they saw them in fucking in was it Vegas? I know they're in Europe. They're all over.
are we
I bet
gonna
you,
are we, are we gonna get attacked, bro?
dude. I have no idea. It's so weird. And I heard there was like hundreds, thousands of these fucking things.
Well, when I come back to Jersey, I'm when shit pops off, I'm coming to your house, bro.
You ain't got nowhere else to go. You'd be fucked.
I know what your house looks like. I'm coming to your house. We're buckering down, bro.
And I live on a hill, which is good, so we can fucking shoot down.
Damn right.
And I got a lot of ammo. I should probably
I know
order
you
more.
do.
Should probably order more. But could you imagine if they were aliens?
I'm
What,
fucked.
what would be worse? Having it be like another country trying to attack us or aliens? Which one do you think would be worse?
Aliens, bro. Aliens.
Or do you think, or is the nuclear missile bad? Well, because I can tell you this, nuclear stuff like that. I don't know if you know about like nukes and like, you
Oh
know,
yeah, we'll die immediately.
yeah. So would you rather be a nuke, an alien, or a foreign country?
Dude, I honestly might pick the nuke because at least we'll die immediately.
Why would you think the alien's gonna do?
I'll probably torture the shit out of you, bring you up to the fucking thing where they're at up in the sky.
Spin you around.
Yeah, you ever see War of the Worlds, bro? Fuck that. Fuck that shit.
So you'd rather be dead than fucking deal with aliens for a little bit?
I think so. I'm not. I
Really?
don't. The only when I picture an alien, I don't know
I'm
why,
going down
bro.
swinging, son.
When I picture an alien, bro, I picture like these 7 foot jacked looking
With
motherfuckers,
fucking long heads.
and they just like I picture like a fucking alien looking at me and just bitch slap the shit out of me, and I go fucking wailing, bro, wailing, and I'm like, you know what? Anyone who bitch slaps me like that, you win, bro. Like you got that one.
No, I don't think they're gonna be like massive fucking creatures.
What do you think? They're gonna be little, like fucking little idiots, little elves looking motherfuckers.
I don't think they're gonna be like 7 feet tall. I don't think they're gonna be like Predator and shit like that.
Oh my god! Could you imagine there's a predator start flying? Done. We're done.
Yeah, that would suck.
You ain't making it. I don't give a fuck how many bullets you got.
No, no, I would
They
suck. I
go,
would
they go
hide.
invisible and they'll throw a little. You know what I mean? You seen Predator? You know what they do?
You gotta be sure order nuke suits.
Oh my god! I didn't even think that because the Predator is like an alien. If bro, that's it. I'm like, you know what? We're done.
See, this is why they
I'm
don't
calling
say.
my mama and saying I love you.
This is why I don't understand why they didn't say anything sooner, because this is the talk that everybody fucking talks about. And they could have, even if they just lied, they should have said something.
I know.
Because them not saying anything made all these things people start talking about.
This
You
is
know,
one of the occasions where I will say lying is okay.
and saying anything would be
Yeah,
okay.
even if you don't know, pretend you know and
Yeah.
make us feel okay.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Because to go on live television and be like, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's reassuring.
But we don't know. But what we do know is you have nothing to worry about. What? That's what they were saying. We have
We don't
no
know,
idea
but
what
you're
it
good.
is, but as much as we don't know what they are, we are confident that you are safe.
You're safe. We got shit floating in the sky, but you're safe.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, like fucking spaceships.
Yeah,
And
no one's fucking safe here.
looking for those red and blue, fucking green lights.
Oh, not to get off topic, but you need to go on Netflix.
Oh boy.
You
I'll,
need,
I'll do it tonight. What? Tell me
you
what.
need to watch the movie. I think it's called Carry On. Really good.
What's it about?
So it's a Christmas movie, kind of,
Okay.
but it's a guy who works at the airport.
Okay.
He works at the part where like they scan your carry-on bag to see what's in the ship.
Yeah.
So what happens is somebody pretends to hand him like a little thingy-mabobber that goes in the ear, and it's a guy that's telling him what to do. And he has a guy going through the line, his line specifically, with a carry-on bag that has this big ass bomb in it, and he has to let it through. And he has to let it on the plane because they want to kill certain. There's like there were army men that were getting ready to testify or some shit, and some lady that was very important testifying against certain people, and they wanted it on that plane specifically with this guy to kill them and blow them up. And what the bomb was, it wasn't a bomb to where it will explode. It was like it leaked gas that would pretty much destroy your insides and make you bleed from the inside out and die. So they were going to kill everyone on the plane. It didn't matter. So basically what happens now, the guy's just fighting against him, trying to not get the bomb, onto the plane, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Really good fucking movie. You gotta watch.
Carry On.
Carry On, yeah, brand new. Do you know who Jason Bateman is?
Yes.
He's the bad guy.
Is it a movie or a series?
The movie. It's a movie.
Oh, okay. You just watched it?
I watched it a couple days ago. Yeah.
Do you watch Yellowstone?
I don't, but I want
I
to.
don't either. I don't either.
Everyone's like, you need to watch it.
I know. I get chastised for it all the time. And I'm like,
You don't really watch TV though.
I haven't watched TV at all today. And what time is it?
The only shows you do watch is I Love Raymond, and you watch that cop show that my dad loves too.
Chicago PD and Judge Judy.
Chicago PD. Yeah, my dad that's his jam.
Because they're episodes, they don't really go in order. You can watch them wherever you want. It's senseless. I don't have to. But dude, you turn on the fucking news, it's horrible. I tried to watch football this weekend. Every team sucks to watch. It's
Horrible.
It's a joke. It's hard to get into
I
that
like
shit.
I don't even watch football, bro. I'll probably get made fun of for this. I watch all like the woman shows, That's not the word I wanted to use. I wanted to be more vulgar, but I want to keep it polite. The woman shows like Love is Blind,
Like white
Ultimatum.
trash?
You ever watch Ultimatum?
No.
Bro, let me tell you about this show.
What's that about?
No, I'm gonna tell you about this show. I can't watch this show because it aggravates me so fucking bad. What an ultimatum is, we know.
I know what an ultimatum is. This or that, or else.
It's fucking shit. But it's called the ultimatum because they have like 6 or 7 couples that come on a show.
Okay.
And one of them issued an ultimatum because one of them wants to get married, but the other one's maybe not ready.
Okay.
So they issue the ultimatum to take them on this show and pretty much date other people or not. And by the end of the experiment, you either figure out if you want to marry who you are with or move on to somebody else. Yeah. So during the experiment, you watch your girl or your boyfriend date and flirt with other fucking individuals. And on top of that, what they have to do is they have to pretty much act like a married couple of the person they formed a connection with. So you watch your significant other go home
like
with
sleep in the
else.
same bed, like sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, bro. They go to the same house for I think 3 or 4 weeks is a process. And then by the end of the experiment,
how many people fuck?
Huh?
How many people cheat?
That's what I'm saying. But that's not cheating because you go on this show as if you're single now, like you're single. It's just like you're not.
So if you hook up, you're not cheating.
No, you're single. But expect your significant other to probably, lose their shit, right? But so by the end of the experiment, you come back together with, whoever you had a connection with, the person that issued the ultimatum with you, whatever, and you decide if you want to get married to them now or move on. I cannot watch it, bro. I think this show, I watched the first 4 episodes and said, fuck this shit, turn it off. This is bullshit. Anyone who does this shit is retarded. Excuse my language, not retarded, not smart individuals.
Could you put yourself through that?
Fuck no, bro. No.
If you did it, could you do it without cheating?
Yeah, I could definitely do it without cheating.
You could sleep in the bed with a hot chick for 4 weeks and not fucking touch skin.
Yes, I can. But could you imagine?
No.
Like say you're whoever you're dating issues an ultimatum and is like, I'm taking you on this show since you don't want to marry me. And you and her both have to form connections with other people, and she watches you do it, and you watch her do it. Like
I'd be like this. How about this? I'm done.
I feel like anybody that can issue ultimatums, I don't want to be with you. There should never be an ultimatum.
Is like the last fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like I gave an ultimatum to a girlfriend once, and it was a fair one.
Well, let's hear how fair it is, guy.
So my ex had a bike, right? Well, my ex didn't have a bike. We dated.
A bike.
We dated. broke up, and then in the interim, while were broken up, she started riding a motorcycle. And then
Okay.
at one point we started talking again and possibly getting back together. And now I've been the first person to 3 bike accidents on the highway. I've seen some nasty fucking shit. It is disgusting.
Oh, I
So I
see
said,
where this
listen,
is going.
I said, I'm not going to tell you you can't ride your motorcycle. I go, but there's got to be an expiration on it. I'm like, if you get pregnant, I go, or we get married, I go, there has to be an expiration on it at some point. I said, it doesn't have to be right now, it doesn't be in a year, but like if you get pregnant, like and we have a kid, like I don't want you riding a motorcycle. Like I don't need a mom that got
Oh, okay, that's
splattered.
fair.
She said, I appreciate that, but I can't agree to that. And I said, okay, fair. Like then that's okay. Yeah, she was like, I love riding my motorcycle. I don't want to give that up. I'm sorry. And I
Oh,
said,
I mean,
and
listen,
I said,
I
I go,
would
that's
say that was
completely,
a fair. It was not
and
like you were like,
we weren't
if
arguing.
you don't ride, I'm leaving you or something. You know what I mean?
No, no, it
You,
wasn't.
all right, that was kind of fair. I'll
Yeah.
roll with that.
I mean, we still like talking, like say what's up to each other. Like we'll
So,
text
like,
here
it
and there.
ended after that. That was
It
it?
ended, yeah, because I won't, yeah, I'm not tolerating that. I know that sounds like cornballish, but like, I guess until you've seen what I've seen on a motorcycle and on the fucking pavement and what people's
No,
fucking
I get
brains look
it.
like,
Yeah.
and it's not that I didn't want her to ride because it's not like I didn't want her to have fun. I didn't want to have a girlfriend or a wife or a mother to a child paralyzed or dead because she was on a fucking motorcycle.
I
That's
think
just how it
that's
is.
very justifiable.
And that's literally all I wanted. And that was the only, but I don't even think that was an ultimatum. It
It's
was like,
not. You just said, hey, look, if you get pregnant or we get married, like, I would appreciate it if you probably kind of slowed this down a bit. And she just said, no. So,
nope.
I don't, it's debatable if it's an ultimatum or not, but
I mean, would you like if your girlfriend rode a bike?
no, no. Because I'll be honest, I haven't seen what you've seen, obviously, but like I know what can happen, and it's ugly as fuck. So no,
And I know everybody goes, well, what happened to somebody else is not them. Yeah. I lost um
I actually hate when
the
people say that.
I lost a buddy that was my cousin's neighbor that like grew up across the street.
Yeah,
My starting running back in college died on a bike. I was the first person to 3 different bike accidents. I have seen it, yeah, it's just crazy. And I just don't want to deal with that. If that can be avoided, I would rather just take the road of avoidance and just
I
not have to
agree.
deal with it. And it's
I
not
don't see
about, I
nothing
don't
wrong with
trust
that.
her riding the bike, especially in the Northeast with the
It's more other
potholes and the
people.
snow.
Yeah.
It's not even that the roads up here are not safe to ride with a bike. The roads up
No,
here,
Jersey,
any place where they have plows and there's erosion in the roads is not safe, man. You get one fucking
Jersey
pothole
is
wrong.
shit to ride bikes. Sounds like a dance move.
Fucking catch that front wheel, son. Out. What else? What else? What else? What else? I feel like we covered so much prior to this because we had to get the fucking the nitty gritty
Yeah,
out.
that's off topic.
Um, let's see. Who do you think is going to be your biggest threat this year in the Olympia?
In the Olympia,
Yeah, Samson,
um,
Derek, or Hottie?
I mean, if they all come in correct, it'll be all of them, right? But
Well,
if
that
I
obviously.
if I had to like narrow it down, I always said Hadi.
Yeah.
I always said Hadi because I think I
The
think
only thing
Derek's
Hottie
beatable.
has going against him is his age. He's a little older. He's
And
and well, so is
it's
Samson.
starting. Well, it's starting to show, in my opinion, in Hadi's backside.
And his conditioning, I think, is also going to start being affected by it.
I think so. So I think Derek's beatable.
And Samson's what, 38? 37, 8?
Third, yeah, I think he's like 38. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are fucking knocking on retired doors. Once you get to 40, it's hard, man. It just is. I don't give a fuck who
Yeah,
you are.
but like
38 and 39 slap me in the face.
I've beaten Samson. Samson's beaten me, so I think he's beatable. I mean, I haven't beaten Derek or Hadi, but I firmly believe I can beat Derek. And I also think I can beat Hottie, but I think Hottie will just be my ultimate biggest challenge when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Who do you think out of you four, who could be the one to hold the title the longest? Because I think you all have an argument that you can all be at arm's reach to get it. And I don't think anybody would argue that you four are very close to being Mr. Olympias, each one of you. But who do you think would be the reigning champ that would have it the longest out of you four? Who do you think is the one most capable of having the stamina to keep that title for that long?
See, it's. I could
Because
say
that's a hard thing to do.
it is, right? So I could say,
Because you got to be all the fuck in, dude.
but that's what I'm saying, because I could say Samson, if he ever came in completely bone dry, I almost think that's could be a very unbeatable type of look. We just haven't seen it yet. And that's why I think that's why I said he deservingly won the Olympia, and I said that a million times, but he still left the door a little open there. I don't think Derek has fully nailed it, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think when he won, obviously he's progressed year to year.
That was his best, but it wasn't his best.
It's not his best. Like that's not.
Yes.
He could have been better.
Yeah.
I think we have seen Hottie at his best.
Yes.
And with age, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get better or stay the same or start to get a little worse. You know, he's been posting pictures, and I think he looks crazy again. So I mean, we'll see. And then there's me. The only downfall that I have, which I think I'm working on, a couple downfalls, I think is like my quad sweep, and obviously my waist will always be a structural flaw for me.
37.
But I think if I always nail it, I think I could win a couple titles for sure. But Derek's also got amazing shape. If I had to pick one, dude, I mean, if he nailed it, nailed it, and just stayed consistent year to year, I'd probably pick Derek.
See my screen, right?
What?
Can you see it?
Oh yeah. The only issue with Derek is like he posts all these incredible photos, which they are incredible, but then leading up to a show, it like goes away, you know?
Yeah.
And I normally don't miss a peak. So
This was the picture that blew him up. Remember that?
oh yeah. Because it was like, yeah, he was fucking
I mean, that's insane.
lean as shit. Look at him.
But then you look there and then just look at this picture and look at the legs here. Even here,
Even when, as I'm saying, even when he won, he lost his legs too.
you know, like he needs to keep all this. This is gnarly in here. Look at that flare.
I don't, yeah,
Like
I don't know
that's
what
not
they
there
do.
here.
No, I don't know what they do, but
Yeah. That's crazy. Because his legs are just crazy looking to me.
no, yeah.
He's got some like when his legs look like that, he's got some of the best legs in the industry. Without that.
I agree.
They're insane.
I agree.
What do you think they're gonna do for coaches now that what do you think about Hani retiring?
I think he did it. Look, he did it for himself, right? Like he's not getting any younger. He's got a kid growing up. He wants to be around the family more. He wants to attend to them more. He feels he's accomplished everything he needed to accomplish. I mean, he has, I believe, the most Olympia titles as a coach. I'm pretty sure he's what, mid-50s?
Yes. He might be late, early. I mean,
He's anywhere from 52 to 54, yeah?
yeah.
I think
No, he's 49. That's see.
oh shit. Sorry, honey.
See, honey, you know when to speak and when to shush.
It's the coaching, man. It stressed him out. That's why he retired.
Or go to Turkey and get his hair did like I did.
Yeah. But no, I think it was a good choice. You know, I understand why. And at the end of the day, like you're not letting anyone down. You're doing what's best for you. And as long as you do it in a very respectful and professional way toward like your existing clients, you you don't agree? You're gonna play devil's advocate? All right, let's hear it, motherfucker.
How hard is it to coach a couple guys?
Look, man, I'm trying to be positive here.
I absolutely love Hani Rambod.
Yeah.
Now, unless he was doing, which he probably was, taking his work home, and if that meaning if he's allowing that mental stress to fucking weigh on him all day and taking it home and it's like
Yeah.
he's thinking about it and he's Chris has got to be better. What I got to do with Derek and fucking Hottie and like if he's doing that and he just can't detach, I get it. But like I've never coached anybody at that level, so I have no right to say. However, I've coached hundreds of people. I mean, looking at pictures or looking at somebody's physique and making a couple of guesses because that essentially that's what that okay. let me clear my throat for this. Let me get some water.
Let
Some
me clear my
but
throat.
now hey, by the way,
What?
did you ever have zero sugar apple Snapple?
That right. But no, I haven't. It looks good though.
It's outstanding.
I like apple. Is that like apple juice?
Mhm.
Yeah, I like apple juice.
I was a big apple juice guy because I was actually allergic to red dye, like red dye 40.
Really?
Growing up, yeah, I got hives everywhere. I could not, no high C, no like red fruit fucking like gummies like the sharks or the fucking Sour Patch Kids or
You had a
any type
shitty
of like
childhood, bro.
red. I couldn't have any of that shit. No red Gatorade. That's why
Yeah.
like I very rarely buy red Gatorade. I'm not allergic to it now, but I just am not like so prone to not having red
You just
that I
don't pick
never
it.
go for it. No, never.
That's
And
crazy.
I'll even ask, I'll be like, give me any Gatorade besides red.
Really?
For no, yeah, every time. I'll say it for no reason.
Nice.
Um, but what was I talking about?
Honey Rambod.
Oh yeah, so I just from an outsider's perspective, I mean, he's got Chris, he's got some of the best in the world. Maybe that's a lot that you're dealing with some of the best physiques, and there's a lot, on that because it's not like it's one. It's Hottie, it's Derek, it's Chris, it's a lot
Yeah.
of them big names. So I don't know. I just, I was talking to another guy about it, and I was like, I'm not saying it's not hard to do what Hani does because he's one of the best at it, and it's very hard to be a Hani Rambod. Nobody will ever be as good as Hani. Meaning like, I think Chris Aceto is one of the best, but there's never going to be another Hani that has all those titles. Like there's just not.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I think he could, I mean, I'm glad he's doing it for himself, but that's kind of the thing that like I think people think like he's a coach. Like what's the negative? He gets to be around, that, and I guess that's kind of like the stigma that like people think that like, well, is it that hard? You know?
I don't think coaching's hard. I think coaching people at the high level can be hard.
Do you think it can be hard because of the egos that the athletes have when
I
they're
think it's
bigger
a I think it's
names?
a combo of everything. I think it's the egos. I think it's the fact that you're coaching pretty much Olympians. I think it's the fact, you know you can't fuck up or it looks horrible on you. And I don't know Hani personally, but I wouldn't doubt it. He brought it home a little bit. It stressed him out, things, whatever. And he probably honestly, I don't want to speak for him. I don't know, but maybe he's just like, I'm done. He wants to be done.
Do you think that there at some point the athlete has some responsibility for what happens with their physique or during a prep or off season? Like, do you think the athlete has to have some responsibility
What do you
of
mean?
that? Like there was like a lot of talk when the stuff happened with you and Matt, and everybody was like pointing the finger at Matt. And I had a video and I talked about how at the end of the day, the coach makes the call, but us as athletes, we also have the ability to say, wait a second, or speak up. And I was like, we can't always, put everything on the coach, because my point is this. The only thing a coach really is somebody that it makes the best guess at a moment in time and hopes that his judgment call is going to provide an outcome that he foresees in his mind. So whether if I say, Nick, take a diazide with this meal and go to bed and have a burger and fries, let's say in my head, I think you're gonna wake up fuller, harder, and drier, maybe a little flat, right? But if I said, well, eat a burger and fries and cut your water, but don't take a diazide. And I'll be like, well, he'll be drier, but not as dry as if he took a diuretic. But if I tell him to do nothing, he's going to look this way. But just depending upon what I do as a coach, because I was at Nationals this weekend and I made a couple of judgment calls with my clients, and they're guesses. Like everything I do, I look at a physique and I take my best shot at what I'm looking at, but it's essentially a guess because I can't predict what is going to happen. I'm going to say, I think this is going to happen at that moment, and it either will or it won't. And I think a lot of people forget that coaches, no matter if you're a honey or if you're the guy at the gym giving bro advice, like we all just try to make the best guess at the moment. Like you coach people, right? Like if you make a judgment call, you don't ever go, I'm going to tell him to eat this, and I know he's going to look like this when he's done.
No, but I assume, right?
But that's different, but you don't know.
Yeah.
But you're just taking a guess. When you look at, if somebody sends you a picture and says, what do I do at my next meal? You're going to tell them what you think you should do based on what you're looking at, right?
Well, of course, but then you kind of have an idea of what they could look like just because you've seen what they just ate. Now
Yeah.
you see what they look like. Now all I would do is whatever meal they just ate, I would either replicate the same thing or maybe add a couple carbs, maybe take some out, add some fats, whatever else. Protein at that point, it should be pretty much slim to none.
Yeah.
So to a degree, like, no, you don't always know. But if you're really keeping track of everything, you kind of have like a general idea, like this is what it's probably going to go down with.
So then you would tend to believe, because that would make sense as to what I'm going to say, is that it would be more advantageous for somebody to work with a coach way before a pre-contest, so that coach could
Yeah, of
understand their
course.
body and what foods work with them and how their body digests things and what carbs bother their stomach, which ones make them full or flat, hold water, that whole nine, correct?
I believe if you're going to work with somebody, you go through a whole off season, you learn their body, you learn, like you said, what foods work best, what foods bloat, what foods don't bloat, what makes you hold water, what doesn't, and that way the coach knows pretty much almost everything going into a contest prep.
And that's what I tell, listen, I tell any of my clients, if something's going on or you don't know something, ask me. I said, I'm not going to give you more information than you need. So if I don't know, then I can't tell you. So you got to be vocal and you got to tell me what the fuck's going on. And so if I'm not gonna say, well, it doesn't matter. I consider them friends now. If you took a 48-hour period, that fucking 48, a 24-hour period, and you were going to give somebody 3/4 of a diazide, you were going to give them a quarter in the morning, you were going to give them a quarter in the afternoon, you were going to give them a quarter before bed, and the show's the next day.
Yeah.
Which one of those quarters do you feel in your mind and heart is the most vital one to not fuck up?
Before bed.
I had my two clients who they had a coach that was really fucking them up. These, remember the 1400 mid guys?
Yeah.
Okay, bro, I fucking was, they were looking so, I mean, listen, they did okay. They both need to be bigger, but just for my own ego, I just wish things happened accordingly. And I was at the show because Bobby had a bikini girl, Julia, who got the first call. She did amazing. Um, we had to go watch her because Bobby was helping her. So then we went out to eat and my phone was gonna die. I didn't have a charger.
Yeah.
So I sent them a voice note and I said, listen, my phone is gonna fucking die. I will call you when I get back to my hotel and tell you what I want you to take as far as diuretic wise, because I'm gonna look at these photos and then make a decision, but it might, blah, blah, blah. So my phone dies. I get back to the hotel, plug it in, immediately turn it on. I call him. No answer. Call him again.
You're
No
sleeping?
answer. Call him again. No answer. Call the other guy. No answer. Text it. No, they both fell asleep. And I was like, I can't believe you guys fell asleep the night before the show. And this is like the most important time for you guys to take a fucking diuretic. And
Yeah.
like they barely took any diuretics up to that point. I think one took a half and a quarter, and the other guy took a quarter and a quarter. So I was like, you guys like actually need this and you're fucking sleeping. And they
Yeah.
both had a big meal, they had burger and fries. And I'm like,
Did you know what room they were staying in?
they were at an Airbnb. I had no
Oh,
idea where they were.
I would have fucking if they were in a hotel, I would have been kicking that door
I
down.
was like, fuck, man.
What
But
time was
dude,
it?
11:10.
Yeah, I might have been sleeping too, though.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have set an alarm to wake up in an hour to make sure you didn't like, I don't know. I was so
Not
like, I love the guys, but I was like,
no, knowing me, I would have been calling you. I'm like, yo,
my phone was dead.
I know that's a problem.
Heaps, yeah. You call me like, hey, so and so's phone's dead. What do I do?
I know. I would.
What are you doing for the holidays? Are you coming up this way?
Yeah, I come home Monday. Come home Monday to Sunday.
Am I gonna see you?
We can try, bro.
Bro, you are the laziest friend I've ever fucking had in my entire life.
But
Unbelievable. No
uh,
fucking but. You're lazy. You
but I'm
hate
a
when you're home, you hate coming anywhere but your fucking own house.
but I'm a friend.
You're a real fucking asshole.
Oh shit.
Hey, if I do, we want, when are you gonna start dieting? January?
I think January 4th we're gonna start, yeah.
I'm not even gonna ask you because I'm not even gonna listen to you.
What?
We want to do an event in February at my gym. Jay, I want to try to get Jay up, you up, but if you're dieting, I know you are.
I'll see. Just keep me posted on the dates and shit.
I saw February 21st on the books when I was at the gym today.
No, because then I gotta go right to the goddamn Arnold, man. What are you doing? Was it
You
the
have to
year
go at the
anniversary?
Arnold? Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Speaking of which, I was a part of.
Well,
Why don't you talk about your new sponsor that you signed with at the Olympia?
oh yeah, new tech. New of the tech.
How did that come to be?
Um, well, I don't know if I can tell the whole story because
Yeah, we'll leave the idiots, leave the idiotic parts of the two fucking
whole
moronic.
yeah, whole complications now.
I'm gonna start going off.
Yeah, I know. But I guess I'm gonna assume New Tech was interested in me from a very while ago when I was in Vegas. Um, and then I guess we could fast forward past some shit here. And then I know you reached out to me that they were interested in giving me a contract. Dorian reached out to me that they were interested in giving me a contract. And then it kind of just was moving at a very slow, rapid rate. So I messaged you to speed up the process because I have patience, but not that many. I
I
did like
did, I did, I did. True or false? I did.
yeah, what?
Speed it up.
You did speed it up. That's
Okay.
why I told you to. Cause the things I can't listen. I got patience, bro. But when I'm like, all right, what the fuck are we
You were
doing?
getting, you were getting antsy.
It's yeah, like we getting like are we signing shit or what? So um, I got in contact with what's his name?
Chantic.
Chantic. Chantic, we talked on WhatsApp for a little while. They put the contract together. They asked me to sign it at the Olympia, obviously before all the chaos. But obviously I was still going, so I had some booth shit to do, so I stopped by there, and then we signed a contract.
Yeah, if you guys have never used their equipment, I'm such a believer in it that is why I literally plastered that equipment in my
I
gym.
think I went to the gym to the kid that went up to you to say he had that equipment first.
I think you did. Where was it?
Um, I don't remember.
In
I think
Jersey?
it is in Jersey. Yeah,
Yeah. Is it
House
pretty
House
big? Black?
House of Gains or something. I believe the
Mhm.
gym's called.
Yeah. 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 Uh-huh.
I did.
Mhm.
He did have. I will say the whole fucking selection though,
I know we both do. I mean,
which
it's
is
not
crazy. I don't.
we're getting
The,
11 more pieces
the new
shipped
stuff,
out in
right?
January. Yeah,
Yeah,
11
it's good.
new pieces. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming. We're trying, I mean, listen, I'm trying to make that gym like a place. Like, listen, if I ever want to work out when on a random day, I'll go there and open up the gym and work out myself.
Is that one kid still there? The one that I met at the grand opening? The one that was kind of pissing everyone off? Looking like a 4 foot midget? Guido?
Oh, oh, you talking about an El Membre?
Is that his name?
No, a
Oh,
member.
yeah,
Yeah,
remember.
yes, yes, yes. He's still there.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's nice.
That's glad that nobody will know who it is because there's fucking there, you minimize the description, and once I knew you were talking about that, I was like, ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, dude,
How's,
we honestly we have a really good group of people. Like I've not had one
how many
issue.
members do you guys have?
We're pushing 1,000, which is great, which is awesome.
Profiting now, I'm assuming?
Oh, we've been profiting since the first month.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Um, so it's exciting. You know, I mean, we're putting the money right back into the gym. You know, we had to
Yeah.
get 2 new water heaters. We had to do stuff to the AC units on top. We're probably gonna redo the floor, and put that like epoxy down. You know, we're adding more equipment in the gym, but we're getting new plates in, more cardio pieces. So it's like, you know, making money is subjective because when you're getting it, it's not going into my pockets, it's going right back into the facility.
Yeah, right.
Which is fine. You know, I never expected to make money off this off the bat, you know. You got to
Right.
build it to make it good.
Of course.
But yeah, man, other than you know, HD, uprising, you know, still cranking away. And boxing like a maniac, dude. I love it.
You still training or no?
I just every Tuesday and Thursday morning, bro.
That's good.
Get I mean, it's fucking hard, bro. It like today he fucking like kicked my and I'm like, man, I'm like, this is so fucking hard. Like
Are you still training in the gym or like a lot less that now?
no, I actually train more in the gym and I've been increasing my volume, which is crazy because I think it's helping me with boxing because like I'm going
Well,
faster
probably the
now.
stamina now, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm used to going fast to begin with, but now I'm like I move at a pretty good pace in the gym. So
Yeah.
like I did what 15 I did 15 sets of squat of legs today in an hour. You know, it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it, man. And I'm getting stronger because I'm eating a little more because I'm
Good.
burning so fucking much.
Yeah.
Like I eat a lot before bed on purpose. Like I'll eat a lot of fats and like I'll eat a lot of peanut butter and rice cakes before bed every night.
Did you increase carbs or not really?
Yeah. Yeah. I have carbs with every single meal, even the one before bed.
Like
Because if I
just
don't,
rice?
rice cakes.
That's it?
Yeah, rice cakes, peanut butter, and I make my little smoothie. My little ninja creamy.
You're a little creamy.
Don't fucking hate some. I should order you
You're
one and send it to your
a
house.
little creamy. Oh, look at me. I'm gonna make my creamy.
When you come over during Christmas break, I will make you one. Keyword is when.
Don't
Um,
fuck up.
anything new in the horizons that nobody knows about that I don't know about that you haven't told? That's a
Nah, man.
surprise.
I'm telling you, I've been chilling. No, nothing spontaneous over here.
Any signature lines with Road Revive anytime soon?
Yes, actually.
Really?
Yeah. The goal
That's
is to
cool.
kind of have it out at the Arnold. So
Really?
yeah.
That's awesome.
I actually did, we just finalized, the 2 flavors that I like, so,
Oh, cool.
yeah. I'm excited for that. They taste really, really good. The formula is pretty jam-packed, so I'm excited, yeah.
So those guys are like Dom and Matt and those guys, like, do they do like triathlons and stuff, or they just like it? Because like I reached out to Matt a while back about like, biking and like what to do and like certain programs to follow. Like, do they are they training for something specific, or they
Well,
just are like
Matt
in love with?
just no, Matt just did a triathlon.
That I know, but I'm saying, is that what their thing? They want to do a bunch of
I
those,
think they
or
do it because it's challenging, and they enjoy
yeah,
it as
yeah.
well. But I think Dom wants to do another one at some point, and I know Matt wants to do one at some point. But yeah, the goal was, I believe, to do a triathlon. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had reached out to Matt for some guidance with like, because I box, I do cardio and this, and I see, I don't know, it's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's almost like the old man fucking way of trying to just stay, in the realm of like fitness, right? You can't lift the heavy weight and fucking, do all the shit I used to do. So it's like,
But
what other way can I test myself?
it's something more. It's very challenging. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, it's depressing. I won't sit here and lie to you that, saying that you can't do what you used to do isn't fucking upsetting. It sucks. When I go
Oh,
into
of
the gym
course.
and I see guys fucking, benching 315, 405. I used to grab the bar like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Now, 225, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh,
Smooth.
ew. Yeah, like that's about it, you know. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, other than that, no real big news on the horizons. Everybody's sick. I've been sick. Fucking Nicole's daughter's sick.
Bro, I feel like you
Um,
got the worst immune system in the entire
my
world.
dad was in my stabbed himself in the hand, skin in the deer, stabbed himself right here
Oh,
with the knife.
is he good?
He get stitches. His hand swelled the fuck up. He can't. He's not allowed to use it. He's not allowed to use
Yeah.
his hand because they said if he moves his thumb, it's gonna tear the stitches.
How long's he got the stitches in for?
I think like was it like 7 to 10 days?
That's not
Hey,
horrible. Well, that's not
zip
bad.
it. It's just one's breathing heavy over here. You maniac. What are you breathing heavy for? Huh? So are we gonna keep doing this? Because if I gotta fucking
I
um
think I
get
think
rid
I'll see you in another 3 months.
are you fucking shitting me? I ain't putting this out there, motherfucker. Kiss my ass. I ain't wasting my fucking time. I gotta
We
reset the
gotta we
fucking
gotta keep the
algorithm.
we gotta keep the people guessing, you know?
Hey, every Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday, pick a day, bitch. We
Uh,
always had Thursday at 6, and you went and fucked it up
I did do that. I did do that
twice.
twice.
Yeah. This isn't the
When?
first time we took a fucking hiatus there, Paisano.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that. We do Tuesday. I think Tuesdays work.
If I think I don't rely on this for income, I'd be fucking broke. I'd be panhandling on the
Except
street.
except we can't do it next week though.
Why?
It's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, bro.
What day?
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, let's do Monday.
I fly home
Okay.
Monday.
Or we do Friday.
All right, we do Friday.
Be worried about it's Christmas. Was it Christmas a whole fucking week?
You're
Christmas a
like,
whole week. It's Christmas Eve and Christmas, bro. Can't
no, well,
fucking.
I'm just saying we agreed Tuesday or Wednesday, but like next is that's Christmas.
You want to have your mom on?
No, because then this will turn
I'll
into
just
like the
watch you
debate
guys just
podcast.
fucking argue the entire time.
No, she'll probably want to argue with you because I know you two debate over fucking topics all day long.
Well, she's like me. She gets hell bent and and sticks to her guns. I get hell bent, stick to my guns, and then we bicker. But I
You're funny though. You're like, yo, your mom debates. You're like, I don't think I've ever debated with somebody like her
no, your
before.
mom. But like I love your mother, so I would never want to disrespect her. So it's like I always make sure that like you still love me. Like
No, my mom loves a civil debate. That's
yeah,
my mom lives for that shit.
I
She
gotta be
likes,
honest. I gotta be honest though,
yeah,
God.
she's very, as long as it stays calm, She'll debate for hours
I know. I
and
know.
hours.
Oh, I can call your mom out of the blue and she'll pick up and we'll talk for fucking 2 hours every
I
time.
know. I
Every time.
know. And she'll tell you exactly what she feels.
I remember the one time I was like, your mom knows a lot about bodybuilding. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know half the shit your mom was talking about. I was like, Jesus.
She knows more about me, bro.
That's called a good mother.
She's usually telling me what's new. And I'm like, oh, really? That's interesting. Why do you know this?
She's got her fucking intel on call
I know.
all
I
day.
know. Like she knows like what people say in certain podcasts, and she'll give me a ring and be like, "Yo, guess who's talking shit?"
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Your mother. I love her.
You can't get nothing past her.
That's a
Nothing.
good thing. That's a good thing. That's why she's fucking, she's on her toes, man. She's a witty one. A witty
She
one.
is. Oh, she is for sure.
So we're gonna get back on track and start cranking these out or what, bro?
Yeah, guy, we're gonna get back on track. Ah.
All right. Well, this is episode 1 for the
This is
start over.
episode one.
Start over. This is the fucking season 3 now. We've got season 1. We got another hiatus with season 2. It was season 3. This is episode fucking 1. We're gonna
We do
try this shit again.
10 episodes a season.
10 episodes season. We out. We're out. That's it. You got to sign up for the fucking extended version. You got to pay that shit. All right. We will be back, guys. We will be coming at you guys each week. I promise I will stay on Nick and make sure that he's here. But before my voice goes completely fucking ghost, I'm the mouth. He's the mutant. Mutant in the mouth. We're back, bitches. Peace.
Mutant.